Is it okay if I... Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed adjudicators, honourable chairperson and members of the proposition, my name is Dáire Driscoll and I'm here today with my teammate Andrew Bath to oppose this motion. This House is proposing that the entire population be immunised against seasonal influenza and possible pandemic annual influenzas such as swine flu. We are taking the entire population to mean all 4.6 million people who live in the Republic of Ireland, according to the Central Statistics Office. But first, what is seasonal flu? Influenza is an acute respiratory illness caused by the influenza virus. This virus changes every year, which is why it is known as seasonal flu. It also occurs in the flu season, which here in Ireland ranges from November to March. According to the Irish Medical Times, 0.4% of the Irish population will contract influenza in any given year. And this is considered within the medium intensity bracket. The high intensity bracket is anything from 5 to 10%, but this has not been seen in many years. So, in the worst case scenario, 200,000 people will contract flu. Now, that's without the vaccine. 80% of people who contract the flu will recover within 2 to 7 days. The other 20% who suffer complications lie in the risk groups. And out of this 20%, 80% will recover with medical attention. These groups are defined by the World Health Organization as those aged 65 and older, children younger than 2 years, people of any age who have chronic medical conditions, such as diabetes, asthma, congestive heart failure, and lung disease. Now, don't be under any illusion that I'm saying influenza isn't a serious illness. It is. It killed just under 400 people in Ireland last year. However, it poses no real threat to people like myself and Andrew, who are young, healthy, and have perfectly functioning immune systems. To vaccinate people like me and Andrew would be a complete waste of money and a complete waste of time on the part of the Health Service Executive. People do need to be vaccinated. That much is true. Health workers and those who lie in the risk groups should be vaccinated. But outside that, we need to play the numbers right. In terms of the possible pandemic animal influenzas, once again, the same applies. As of October 2009, 100,000 people had contracted swine flu. As of November 2009, only 11 people had died, all of whom had underlying medical conditions and all of whom lay in the risk groups. The HSE and government would be far better off investing in such vaccinations for, let's say, cervical cancer, which originally could not be rolled out due to its cost. Cervical cancer hits women year in, year out. It doesn't change like influenza does. It affects 0.06% of women, and the mortality rate is 75%. It's a far bigger killer than the flu. The scheme has now been rolled out, but mainly due to the fact that many young girls were vaccinated out of their parents' pockets. Last December, Minister for Finance Brian Lenihan delivered what was described as a draconian budget, the hardest budget in a decade. The HSE was stretched before, and now it is at breaking point. Cancer services are running on a shoestring. Dialysis services are much the same. To waste the already sparse money on needless vaccines would be truly an insult to those struggling to receive treatment and care for their illnesses. Some may die due to lack of treatment and care, and this is directly linked to the lack of funds available for them. In terms of healthcare, you really don't need it until you need it. Why do I need to be vaccinated against an illness that I've already fought off quite easily? The swine flu vaccine costs €11.04 per dose. The Irish government paid 80 million for the 7 million doses ordered, according to the World Health Organization. Our country is so badly in debt that at one stage we were being threatened with expulsion from the European Union. The HSE issued a pamphlet in my school this week concerning the swine flu vaccine, in which it said, most people will only require 1 dose. So the cost for any one person could actually be doubled if they require a second dose. As of February 2010, the World Health Organization reported 225 out of 15,000 samples of the prevalent 2009 pandemic H1N1 swine flu virus have shown resistance to Tamiflu. And this is not totally unexpected. 99.6% of the seasonal flu H1N1 strains tested had developed resistance to oseltamivir. So, even if the vaccine is administered, it might not even work. So, we are left with a bigger bill to foot and no real benefit. This suggestion to immunise the entire population is preposterous. I implore you to oppose the motion. Thank you.